Good morning, everyone, or afternoon. I have no idea when this is going to be playing. My name is Michaela Hoppe, and this is my workspace. I'd like to thank Adele at Dervilia Art and Design and the Art Now Fine Art Fair for inviting me to do an art talk today. It's pretty darn cool. I did not think that I would be doing an art talk if you had asked me 6 years ago, but here I am, and it's pretty intimidating. So be kind, please, I beg of you. I guess when asked to do a talk, the first thing I thought of was I would just kind of like to share my story. And then you start filming and you start thinking, who wants to hear your story? And then I remembered that, our art is always sharing our stories, and you never know who it's going to reach, and you never know who is going to enjoy it or who's going to, connect to it. So why would I not put my words out there the same way that I put my art out there, right? Right. So I guess my story kind of begins when I was in high school, and I was always a drama kid. And then in grade 10, I had a teacher who looked at my sketches and put a paintbrush in my hand and said, "Hey, guess what we're going to paint today?" And I was in love. Like, I spent every spare, every lunch break, every minute I could possibly get in that studio. And then my dad built me an easel for Christmas. My mom bought me a box of paints from Costco, and I started lugging that stuff everywhere that I went. Like, if I lived in an apartment, there was a little corner of the kitchen, that was my painting space. And I needed to create in order to live and breathe. It was just like part of how I moved and expressed myself. I took one university paint class and one university drawing class at the U of S. And from there, I didn't have a lot of opportunities to do any more education with my paintings. So I figured things out on my own through just messing up. And it's okay to mess up because that's a cool way to learn. I have been told before that it's good to have all of the tools in your tool belt, and then you can kind of choose which ones to use and which ones not to use, and that is good advice. So I've read a lot of books on composition and color theory, and I'm lucky enough to have friends that I can troubleshoot things with and learn from. But I guess the most important thing is that an art career is not something that you do on your own. In my story, there are a lot of different people who have played an incredibly important role in getting me where I am in my creative career, which is still an emerging artist. I'm still a rookie. I'm learning every day. But I made a goal for myself 6 years ago, and I think I've achieved it. So 6 years ago, I went to the very first Art Now Fine Art Fair, and I had my art represented with the Sask Craft Council, and it was up on the walls, and I was pretty happy to have it up on the walls. And then I looked at everybody else's art, and it was stunning. I mean, we have some incredible Saskatchewan art. We have some of the best art I've ever seen anywhere. And I was pretty intimidated and floored and shook. And I made this plan that in 5 years I was going to be in a gallery. I wanted to do this professionally. I wanted to make this my life. I wanted to have my art up with everybody else, and I wanted to be stronger than what it was. I didn't feel like it was strong enough to be hanging with these other artists yet, but I don't let that get me down. I let that motivate me to get better. So I went home and I started making plans. How do I reach that next level? before that art now, I got married and I had my daughter Willow in 2009. Dale and I sat down and kind of figured out that it made more sense for me to be a stay-at-home mom, which I was totally cool with, and that gave me more time to paint. So my mother-in-law, Cindy Hoppe, she was raised by a professional artist, and she herself is a professional artist, and she kind of took me under her wing and was like, let's market your work, let's get it out there. And we started making business cards and posters, and we went to Sundog, and we went to Wintergreen, and Wintergreen's such a beautiful show. We went to a waterfront show one year, and the wind was so strong that we had sandbags holding back our walls, and our paintings were like budgie corded to the walls, and I'd have to stand there the whole day just holding everything in place and be like, hi, how are you? You want to look at some art? I'll move for a second. It was crazy. And some years we were doing shows and I would be handing out 150 business cards and I wouldn't sell a single piece of art. And it was just getting myself out there. It was hanging my art on any walls that I could possibly hang my art on, and just trying to get feedback, trying to grow, trying to, make those initial steps. Because there is no right or wrong way of, building a professional career. There is no roadmap. There's no class. You just kind of keep putting yourself out there, and then you get lucky one day. And that's kind of what happened to me. I had my art hanging at the City Hospital with Diane LaRoche-Allard, and the most beautiful, talented, curly-haired artist found me. And she was like, hey, Chickie, you want to be a part of my art gallery? And I was like, yes, yes, I very much do. And I had no idea that was going to be such an important relationship in my life and such an important moment, because it was my introduction to the Saskatoon arts community. And she's a lifelong friend, and she taught me so much. Like, I had no idea. I really had no idea. She taught me how to be pricing my work properly, and how to conduct myself within a professional gallery, and how to create successful submissions to commercial galleries, and so much more. But that first gallery helped me meet so many artists, and every single one of them have been so important to me. They're my sounding boards, and they are my cheerleaders, and they are everything. My first show, a bunch of people came up to me and were like, we've never heard of you before. You look like you're painting, like you know what you're doing. So why have we never seen your work before? And that's when I found out that my advertising was sucking. So I got on Instagram and Facebook a little bit better, and I got my sister to teach me how to hashtag, because I didn't know how to hashtag. And that started to help too. I was able to connect to artists across Canada now, and things just kind of started getting a little bit easier. I started applying to other galleries successfully, and I'm with Dervilia Art and Design now in Saskatoon, and it's been amazing, and I'm so grateful for every single opportunity that I've been given. But there's kind of a moral to my story, and it's that I would not be anywhere without the help of my friends. Yeah, I would not be anywhere without members of the creative community helping to lift me up and helping to answer my questions and being a friend for me. So I would like to encourage everybody to help lift each other up, because we don't do this alone. We do this as a community. We do this as friends. We help each other get through the rough patches, and it doesn't need to be a competition. We're all just trying to express that song that's in our souls, and that's beautiful, and it's something that we all have in common. We all share that little bit of magic, and so we're all community. And yeah, that's my little bit of sunshine for you today. If you've gotten to this point in the video, I would like to say thank you. Maybe, just maybe, this will be the version of the video that I submit. Maybe it won't. I might keep doing this for 2 days. The next step is going to be going outside. I might go for a walk and try doing this. I've considered many things. So I'm sorry if it was a little bit scattered. I also tossed out my notes a long time ago. So but thank you for hanging in there with me. Thank you for joining me today. And I hope to see each and every one of you in person sometime very, very soon.